What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I got something to talk to you guys about. Now, I originally wasn't going to do a video about this, but I've been reading so many videos and watching so many articles that I figure I might as well get my opinion out there on the question of the day, the question of the week: is WoW going pay to win? Now, I'm going to do a long answer and a short answer. Okay, so let's just get the short answer out of the way right now. No. Okay, so long answer is not really, but see, that's not the exact same as no, and so we're going to kind of talk about what's going on here. Now, what kind of has prompted a lot of this is in the PTR, the patch 6.2 PTR, the Apexis gear that used to be sold by the, I think that they're the same for Horde and Alliance, but the Arakoa guys, instead of buying it with Apexis crystals, you can now buy it with gold. I personally think this is a great change. Other people have been pretty upset about it. Now, I'm going to kind of give you guys the prices and the item levels of the gear. I don't have anything telling me here, so I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. 630 is 1,000 gold. This is the item level of the gear. 630 is 1,000 gold. 645 is 5,000 gold, 655 is 10,000 gold, and 675 is 20,000 gold. Now, people have equated the price of 20,000 gold to a rough price of the WoW token, and they've been saying that pretty much because you can buy a WoW token and sell it on the token marketplace, the auction house for the WoW tokens, that it's going to kind of encourage people to buy WoW tokens and then sell them to buy the Apexis gear. Now, while that's obviously a completely possible thing that can happen, I don't really think it's very probable. And the reason that I think that is I'm going to kind of talk about my gearing process, and I'm going to do a video for you guys in a little bit. Probably, I don't know, let's see, what day is it? Probably about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we're going to do a video, how to gear up in patch 6.2, but I'm going to give you guys kind of like my brainstorming for it right now. Now, whenever you get, obviously, like, so you hit level 100, and I'm going to tell you guys kind of the gearing process and the item levels required, and so you guys can see how minor 675 is going to be. Like 675 is the new 640, okay? Now, all right, so you hit level 100, you get your garrison level 3, you buy your shipyard, you sail over to 10 in jungle, and then you start killing rares. And so the rares are going to be able to drop two different things. Sometimes they drop Baleful gear, which is a lot like the Timeless Isle tokens. And so I think it's item level 650, and it used to be 640, but it was upgraded apparently. 650, and on top of that, all of the rares have their own unique item that they drop on top of that. So you're going to be able to pretty much gear yourself out with 650 gear. Honestly, man, like, you're going to be able to do this on day one. I would be really surprised if you weren't able to. On top of that, the Baleful gear can upgrade, can epic upgrade to 675. And so you can just go out there, like, look how, see how this doesn't make sense? So you go out there and you're just looting up blues, right? You're looting up blues, one turns into a perp, boom, you just saved 20,000 gold. You just saved 20,000 gold. So I don't really think that a lot of people are going to be buying that. Now, maybe, like, I might buy, like, a 630 piece. Like, I'm just getting unlucky, I'm not getting what I want, maybe I'll just buy a 630 piece. That's a possibility, but I don't think I'd ever be dropping 20k on a 675. Now, let's also look at the item levels of LFR. Now, LFR High Mall is obviously 640, LFR Blackrock Foundry is 655, and I think that the tier sets from LFR are 660. And also on top of the tier sets, there's PvP gear, the Primal, is it Primal? I think that's Primal gear, which is 660 as well. And obviously the gear, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. The item level for Hellfire Citadel, yeah, Hellfire Citadel, which is a new raid that's coming out in 6.2. You have to be at least item level 650 to queue into it. Now, Hellfire Citadel LFR isn't going to be available from day one, but 10 in jungle will be. So that means for any player that logs on in any sort of a daily fashion, or even maybe once or twice a week, they're going to be able to get up to 650, even if they started with greens right now, in a matter of days. It's going to be very easy. And so as soon as you get to 650, you're able to queue into LFR. Now, a Hellfire Citadel LFR is going to be dropping 680 to 685. Now, something that's new in patch 6.2, and I'm not really sure, I don't really want to come out and talk about this really too much right now because I don't know enough about it. But the different item levels, the items are going to be different depending on which bosses you kill. And so the early bosses in Hellfire Citadel Raid Finder are going to drop 680 here, and the higher level bosses, I guess probably Archimond, are going to drop 685. And so for comparison, that is of course the same item level as High Mall, Mythic, and also Blackrock Foundry Heroic. And so this is going to, it completely invalidates 675. Like 675 is like, you know, 680. It's like 680 at the end, or sorry, 480 at the end of Mists of Pandaria. It's a very small number, and so that's why I want to kind of make sure that you guys are kind of on the same page here. I've been reading a lot of articles, like, and that's why, like, I kind of really wanted to talk about this, because it wasn't just like, some of my friends on YouTube or people that I've known that have been talking about this, but it's people that I don't even really know, and this has been kind of a discussion, and so I kind of wanted to get my mind out there and tell you guys. Now, on top of that, we've got two new difficulties coming out. We've got Mythic Dungeons and Time Walker Dungeons. Time Walker Dungeons on the PTR right now are dropping 660 item level gear, and so that obviously is going to allow you to queue into Hellfire Citadel LFR, and Mythic Dungeons drop 685 gear on top of dropping a maybe a possible 700 item level piece at the end of the run. And so you guys can see how getting that 675 gear is really going to be a waste of money. Now, I also want to address something else here. What's the difference, really? Like right now, you can go buy a 675 piece of gear, and you definitely will be able to in 6.2 with the crafting changes. You'll be able to buy a 675 piece of crafting gear for probably around 20k as well. Now, what is the difference between buying something from the auction house and buying it from the game? Well, whenever you buy something from the auction house, only a small portion of the auction house cut is removed from the economy, and all of the rest of the money is transferred around to the other players that bought and sold the items from each other. But if you buy it from the game, that's 20,000 gold that is effectively removed from the economy. Now, isn't that convenient that we have things like that whenever the treasure finder missions are? I shudder to imagine how much gold they're inserting into the economy. Like right now, it's almost 6 in the morning. I'm staying up, man, because I got my Blackrock Foundry mission is coming out. It's going to have a Mythic Warforged BOE. I'm going to sell for 100,000 gold. On top of that, I got 3,000 gold coming with it because I've killed enough Mythic bosses, and so it's like I'm just putting 3,000 gold into the economy, every other week. And I'm also doing that with the High Mall missions, and I got everybody else in my guild doing the same thing. And imagine everybody else that's got like all their other treasure finder. I mean, like, you guys kind of get the picture where I'm coming from, is that there's a lot of gold that's getting put into the economy, and Blizzard needs to have some kind of gold sink, and they've increased repair costs, and so that's kind of a give and take. I know for a lot of people that sucks, but I got guild repairs, so hey. But anyway, they've got to figure out a way to remove some of this gold from the economy, because it's going to devalue everything. And of course, whenever that happens, that's going to upset people. And there are a lot of different reasons why having inflation as high as it is now, because this is flat inflation. It's not like you're really pulling out any sort of items out of the economy or putting these items into the economy with the gold. Treasure finder missions just give you gold, right? And so there's not really other items unless you're getting those Mythic Warforged socketed BOEs that are selling for 100k. Unless you're getting those, you're not really adding other items into the economy that are going to kind of soak up that stuff, or soak up those items. And so it's pretty much just inflating the value, because obviously people have more gold chasing the same amount of items. That's basic economics. And so it's going to make prices higher, and obviously that's not going to be good for people. Especially one thing that's really bad about this is, like, players come back from like a 6-month break. I remember in Wrath of the Lich King at the beginning of the expansion, gold was worth about, like, let's say 25% of what it was worth by the end of the expansion. And so, like, whenever you had like 20,000 gold at the beginning of the expansion, was like 80,000 gold at the end of the expansion. And so it's like you come back at the end of the expansion, you're way far behind, whereas you weren't. That kind of sucks. And so I think that the WoW is not going pay to win. Like, and if it is, I'm going to talk to you guys about something else. And I said this before, I'll say it again. Like, I was mad in 2006, 2007, whenever it was that they implemented the trading card game, because you could just buy the cards and then redeem them and give people the codes and sell the codes, right? And so there have already been a ton of different ways to transfer gold, especially now. Like, you can go buy a code online for one of these TCG mounts and then redeem it in the game and then have this mount and then sell it on the auction house. And so, before the WoW token, buying gold was already a facilitated and legitimate, what's the word? I guess, like, I mean, you could already do this. And so I guess the WoW token takes out the one step of buying the code, right? So you don't have to buy the code. All you have to do is sell the thing. And, I honestly redeem the code, I guess. That's the real difference. But I think that, people are kind of going about this the wrong way. And like, I can understand, because people have been very critical of Blizzard. And I think that there are a lot of things to be critical of Blizzard about. But I think that at the point where you start being critical about things that are not as big of a deal or kind of misinterpreted. I'm not really saying anybody's misinterpreting these things. I'm saying that like whenever it's like, they're bringing out the cash shot mounts and like, the subscriber drops, and like we haven't really had like a whole lot of discussion, with Blizzard about that, or at least it doesn't seem to me. And so people are getting suspicious. They're getting mad. How can you blame them? Really, how can you blame them? And so I understand that, but I kind of want to tell you guys my point of view, where I'm coming from, and hopefully you guys will kind of see where I'm at. Now, I'll be doing that patch 6.2 gearing guide, as I said, about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. 6.2 should probably happen, I don't know, I would assume somewhere in the middle of June, maybe at the end. I honestly it's probably going to be at the end, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so I want to make sure I have that out for you guys. And just to make sure you guys, this is important, so make sure you guys aren't spending that 20K. You can mail it to me, though, if you want. But you definitely don't have to spend it at the Apexis vendor. Like, let me tell you, man, that is a dumb idea. Everything, like 685 is going to be the new benchmark. 685 is going to be the new benchmark for pretty much any character. I think any character can reach about 675 in one like neckbeard day of play, and maybe 2 or 3 casual days of play, depending on how efficient you are. And hopefully I can help you guys get there a little bit faster too. And so I did want to just kind of get my opinion out there, tell you guys where I'm at, and so hopefully you guys will see, and like just kind of see what's going on, and we can focus on the things that matter. We can focus on real problems, not kind of imagined ones. And I think that I read 3 articles about this today. 3 articles about this. Imaginary bullshit, not even going to happen. And so hopefully now you guys know that just as well as I do. So that's pretty much all I got. I think that I've run this video on a little bit too long, but hopefully you'll forgive me. That's pretty much all I got, though. So thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.